We got the brand new Q&A today, guys, and of course, some updated Galactic Legends characters that we need to farm. Some are going to be happy with it, some definitely not. My name's Heinzie. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're brand new to this channel, smash that red button. It's super, super important to help us grow this channel. Now, yeah, there was a heap of information that was released today. A lot of people happy, a lot of people okay about it, a lot of people certainly not happy. So instead of just getting my opinion on it, I thought I'd throw the floor out to a few of our friends as well. We got some special guests today, just to get their take on a few topics that were put out there, and get their opinion and their thoughts, and maybe even a salty session. Who knows what's going to happen? We're on the planet Crate today, so anything's possible. So let's rip into it, guys. Let's say hello to our guests. We're going to start off with the man, of course, the golden tonsils, Scotty McLaren. Welcome, buddy. Thanks for dropping in, bud.
Good evening, and good evening, boys and girls.
Awesome to have you here, man. And of course, we've got a friend from Qatar this time as well. Efrat, how are you, buddy? Welcome, mate.
Hey, good evening, all. How are you doing?
Awesome, man. Thanks so much for dropping in. Of course, we've got our Tuscan legend from the UK, J-Lox Jedi. How are you, buddy?
Morning, not too bad. Hope everybody's all right.
Yeah, no, all good. And of course, we can never forget the man, the myth, the legend, Nev. How are you, buddy? Welcome, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Morning.
So guys, we wanted to get you guys together and go through some of the points that were obviously announced today. We had the Q&A obviously drop. We've had a few announcements with obviously a brand new capital ship. We've also had some Galactic Legend updates. So there's some crazy stuff. So we're going to run through this, and we're going to get through the list and see where it takes us, and get the guys' opinion here, and have some fun with it. So let's get into the list. Okay, we're going to start off with the new Galactic Legend requirements. Now, I'm going to start this one off and go through the list quickly, gentlemen. Of course, we have a third set now of requirements. We've got Galactic Legend Ray needing Amelin Holdo at Relic 5, Resistance Hero Finn at Relic 5, and... Hang on a minute. You actually have to give me a minute. Hang on a minute. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Rose Tico, Relic 5. Now, for those that aren't aware, I currently have Rose Tico at Relic 5. I did a video, of course, when we cracked 1,000 subs on the channel here, and I sent it to Gear 13, so you can check that out in the link below. But of course, we've got Galactic Legend Kylo. He needs the Red Trooper at Relic 5. And, of course, the First Order Special Forces TIE Pilot at Relic 3. And of all things, Veteran Smuggler Han Solo at Relic level. Now, that means some are going to farm the vets. Now, I want to start with you, Efrat, if I can, man. On that list, what are you happy about? What are you unhappy about, if anything there, man?
I'm kind of more neutral towards this in general. I was in the back of my head expecting most of this. The only one that I would say I'm not really unhappy about, but more taken aback, was Vet Han coming out of nowhere. I mean, story-wise, he's related, but yeah, wasn't expecting.
Yeah, it's a strange character. Let's get on to Scotty. Scotty, your thoughts on the new requirements, man? The next batch of requirements.
Okay, I'm going to throw this out there. There's been a lot of people that have been hating the new requirements that have come out today. I've got to say that I'm actually pretty happy with it, and I'll tell you why. Because Rose Tico, I've got her zated. She's Gear 12. I lost a bet. Hey, it's finally going to come into fruition. Veteran Han, I've also got him Gear 12 and zated due to another bet that I lost. So I'm happy about that. And his Zeta's getting rework, so I'm quite stoked about that. Now, there's a lot of people as well that are actually questioning, why is Vet Han needed for Kylo Ren? Well, okay, for those of you that haven't seen the Rise of Skywalker, there actually is a connection with Veteran Han and Kylo Ren in the Rise of Skywalker. There is a connection there, and there is a reason why he is there. And if you ask me, I think that we're going to be seeing something that's of a little bit different that could be coming to this in terms of the Relic 3. You'll see the real character when you play with him, but in this event, it'll probably be changed to something else. That's all I'm going to say.
No, absolutely. Let's get to J-Lox. I'm going to give my thoughts at the end. J-Lox, your thoughts on the requirements, brother? What do you think about these?
Oh, to some extent, I've kind of stopped caring. I'm never not going to get it for a while now. I was going to go for Jedi Ray, not Jedi Ray, for Legends, Galactic Legends Ray.
Yep.
But I never farmed them to start with, so half of them are still Gear 11s, and I've just got way too much to be getting up to top standard anyway.
And are you disappointed about that though? Like as far as the requirements just getting really crazy these days?
Yeah, I mean, I was able to get on top of Darth Revan, Jedi Revan, Malak pretty darn quickly, but this is the first one which I've just, there's no hope of getting it within any reasonable time frame.
Fair enough.
So,
now we've also had our man Lego Calrissian. I'm sorry, brother, I forgot to introduce you at the start. That's my bad. Can't take me anyway, man. Welcome, buddy. Now, your thoughts on the list as well, mate, to give me an idea?
Yeah, I'm a bit the same as J-Locks. Not exactly going after either of them anytime soon. So, to be honest, the requirements sort of null and void with me. So
yeah, and again, is that disappointing? Like, what are your thoughts with it, or you just go whatever?
Oh, it's disappointing that I'm not going to be able to play with these new characters, even though I have most of the characters there. The thing that was good about the game before was that you could go in undergeared and just try your best many times as you could to get these characters, all the legendaries before. And now they've just gone, we'll do the opposite. We'll just make the requirements ridiculously hard, and then we'll make the event easy. It's like, well, you've just done a complete 360, basically.
Yeah, no, a complete change to what's been going on in the past. And of course, Nev, your thoughts with the list, brother. I know that you've been going pretty hard after First Order when the new Kylo was announced. Now, your thoughts on farming veteran smuggler Han Solo, which I'm sure you probably didn't expect.
I completely didn't expect that. I was expecting probably a new Han, a Force Ghost one, but not veteran smuggler Han. Sorry, but it's screwed.
Fair enough. There we go. I've got some editing to do in a minute, so we'll get back to that soon. Now, that's just crazy. My thoughts are that Rose Tico, that's a plus for me. There's a lot of people going to be filthy about farming her. She's actually not a bad character, to be honest. The veteran smuggler Han Solo, to me, is a massive kick in the nuts. There's no other word for it. It's simple. It's really a kick in the nuts for a lot of people. I remember farming the veterans back then to unlock JTR, and I tell you, it was horrific. And for those that have unlocked it now, obviously, to push that now and make them, obviously even more powerful, even though they've got a rework, which is great, I get all that, and they'll probably fit in really well now as a resistance squad. But who are you guys out there think that it probably should have been resistance in the first place, not now? That's the strange thing that I don't get.
Well, yeah, no, well, they should have been resistant straight away, Heinzie, without a doubt. I 100% agree. But having said that, these characters, Chewbacca and Han, the veterans, have been just sitting in for a lot of endgame players' rosters since Jedi Training Ray came out. They've just been sitting there. Maybe Gear 9, probably Gear 10. That's about as high as they've gotten them. I actually spoke to you about this a few weeks ago, and I'm sure that you remember this when I said to you, dude, don't be surprised if they need veteran Han and veteran Chewbacca for your galactic requirements. And you were like, nah, man, that won't happen. That won't happen. And then I said, well, I'm farming them anyway. So I started to. And then everyone in the guild was like, what are you doing, man? Why have you just taken them to Gear 12? Now, you know.
I do. No, absolutely. I remember, I think I was one of those people that sat there and said, dude, what are you doing? We need to talk. I think I almost pulled you aside one point and said, dude, we got to get serious here. But, man, you're ahead of the curve. It's as simple as that. So, yeah, look, it's a strange situation to be in, certainly. So, let's move on to the next topic, guys. Let's get after it. Yeah, obviously a lot of people completely upset and I don't blame you at all. I really don't. I've got a farm veteran smuggler Han myself. I've got like a 6 mil account, and I still need to work on these. So yeah, it's pretty disappointing. But yeah, at the end of the day, not much we can do about it. If you're going after it, you're going after it, whether we like it or not. It's pretty simple. Let's get. Sorry.
I just add one more thing to this too, Heinzie. I mean, like a lot of people have been speculating. Okay, what characters now are we going to need next? What's next? What's next? I think, from looking at it today and after hearing about the reworks for Chewbacca, as well. Well, obviously, veteran Chewie is going to probably be needed for the First Order, if you don't mind me speculating here.
Mm-hmm.
That happen with General Hux and the other TIE fighter pilot. And there'll be something else as well, which I'm actually legitimately throwing out there, that it's going to be a snowtrooper. Snowtrooper from your Imperial squad is going to be needed there as the fourth character. Now, a lot of people are also thinking, well, it's got to have something to do with ships. Now, if you remember when they initially released this, they actually came out and there was another 4 tiers after this, in terms of not just the characters, but there was another 4 tiers, and then they rolled it back. I think that's going to be the ship thing.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see what comes next. Who knows? Who knows what's coming next, man? It'll be interesting to see for sure. But anyway, let's move on. We've obviously had the Q&A today, guys. We had the Q&A. I want to get the guys' thoughts on the Q&A here. I've got some topics we're going to start with and roll through. So I'm going to throw a few out there and see now. I want to start with JLox if I can. Now, they obviously mentioned one of the topics was that there's not going to be a Hyperdrive Bundle 2.0. Now, a lot of people are a bit unsure about that as far as whether it is actual fact or whether it's a misdirection, and there'll be something down the track that you will be a Hyperdrive Bundle 2.0. So, dude, I want to ask you your thoughts on what you think is the truth. Do you think this is correct or not?
Well, they seem to like throwing out their red herrings, don't they? Everything's up for later change by the sounds of things, over coffee or whatever it is they do to discuss these things. So I would not be surprised at all if there was 180 of some description on that.
Yep. So we'll just have to wait and see. Lego, your thoughts? Yep. Hyperdrive Bundle 2.0, yes or no? Or not? Who else have we got out there? Nev, what are your thoughts, buddy? Hyperdrive Bundle 2.0, yes, no, maybe?
I'll probably think they'll go probably for a Hyperdrive Bundle 1.1.
1.1? So you think that there'll be obviously another big bulk type token type unlock of some sort down the track?
Whenever they ever stuck to what they were going to say.
Fair enough, absolutely. Let's move on. Efrat, I want to ask you, buddy, about obviously there are going to be new puzzles incoming, of course. They mentioned today that they wanted to try and do one for the Skywalker event. They weren't happy with it. Do you like the puzzles? Yes, no? What are your thoughts with that side of stuff, man?
I mean, with the old ones, we kind of always guess what they were, but it's still pretty cool to have. It's just, I'm excited to see them come back. I hope they do more.
Absolutely. And Scotty, your thoughts on the puzzles, bud?
Mate, I love the puzzles. The puzzles are some of the best stuff ever because everyone sort of comes together as one community to try and figure it out. But I just wanted to jump back to the Hyperdrive Bundle if you just give me a second.
Absolutely.
In the data mine, there's actually a Lightspeed bundle power-up with a new bundle, and that's coming our way. Now, that may not be the Hyperdrive Bundle. It may not be titled the Hyperdrive Bundle, but it's definitely a Lightspeed bundle. Watch out.
Look out. There we go.
Yeah. Just going back to that. I was about to say, regarding to the bundle, that I don't think it's going to be for like new characters. I think it's going to be to relic your characters up so you can get to those requirements faster because it's too much money in there.
Absolutely. And a lot of relics as well that's needed. I know that I'm finding that, I'm starting to dwindle a lot of my relic stores now for farming those, or sorry, the gear, my apologies. So it is obviously a little bit tricky. Hopefully that there'll be a gear release, but it doesn't look like in the short term there's going to be much of a gear release, I don't think, guys.
Nah, not at all. They actually came out and actually said that they've got no plans apart from the new challenge tiers to help out with the gear grind and maybe some more packs.
There you go. Crazy. Nev, I want to ask you, because let's move on to the next point quickly. Now, there was a mention of a possible Jara rework down the track, but the interesting one was obviously an image that was put up with our friend the Mandalorian. You are a massive fan of the Mando TV show, my friend. I know that for a fact. You are a Baby Yoda. You just love Baby Yoda. It's ridiculous. It's nuts. Actually, it's almost bordering on unhealthy, really. No, I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding.
Is that a pot shot?
No, it's not a pot shot. It's just that you put about 1,000 Baby Yoda memes up for me daily, so I know you're a bit of a fan.
It didn't have anything to do with you preloading or anything.
Not at all. Your thoughts, man? Jar rework? Yes, no, and do we get the Mandos? Please, I want them. What are your thoughts?
I don't want a Jarro rework. They've literally got no place in the game, if I'm being honest. But I'm definitely wanting a Mando teaser, especially with some new Imperial faction characters. So that would be awesome.
Oh, crazy. Anyone else's thoughts for the Mando teaser?
I'm usually very positive, but to me that meme sort of made it look like screw the Jawas. We're not going to touch them.
Crazy. No, it's just nuts. I mean, I want the Mandalorians yesterday in the game. I think that there's a lot of people that would seriously wail on a lot of those characters given the opportunity to unlock them sooner rather than later. And, you know, whether they bring them in down the track in October when they release the next season, who knows? But yeah, that would be cool. I think that a lot of people would really engage in that for sure.
Well, they could always bring it out as a legendary event needing Jawas.
Oh, it would be nuts.
Someone.
It would be nuts. Scotty.
And then they would rework them before the second time.
Scotty, your thoughts, buddy? There was a lot of coffee and office talk today, mate. Now, you mentioned to me earlier on that you were quite happy with the standard and the amount of questions that were answered. And then there was a question about the brand new office and the level of coffee with the office itself. Now, I was a bit annoyed about that myself. I was a little bit upset because there's so many other things that are going on in this game that are probably a lot more priority than the coffee in a brand new office. What are your thoughts, dude?
Look, I skipped over that question, to be honest, but, you know, I mean, like, my point is that this has been the best Q&A that I've actually seen these developers answer for quite some time. The reason being is you take that coffee crap out of it and, you know, and all that. I mean, there's always got to be some idiot out there that asks those sorts of stupid questions. But, you know, but like, let's be honest. I mean, like, you know, they actually answered for the first time. Whether or not they gave us the right answer of what we were chasing, who knows? But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But at least I saw those questions in there that people were actually asking that we finally got answers for. For example, I'll give you a perfect example of this, actually. Why aren't arena shards rotated? That was a great question. I thought that was a fantastic question that they actually threw out there. Is there a framework issue that's preventing the development of new content? Another good question, you know, that people are wanting to know the answers to. And, you know, they were actually talking another question here about the content creation being slowed down to having different code sets in the game. They actually answered these questions. And, you know, there was another one here about the 2 Empire capital ships in the game, but only 5 Empire starfighters and none of them being a tank. And they actually said here that a TIE bomber would be a perfect ship to make. Now, if that's not a bit of a thing there to say that we're going to be seeing, a hint there to say that we're going to be seeing another TIE bomber or a TIE interceptor finally, then that would be amazing. So, you know, like I say, I mean, there was a fair bit of stuff in here. Yeah, there was a lot in here about the Galactic Legends, and rightly so. I mean, a lot of people want to know the answers to what's going on there. But having said that, you know, there was even a question there about the territory battles that they finally answered. Now, this one was about, I recall a long time ago, and I remember the dev saying this, you guys saying that you wouldn't be putting any new marquee tunes in platoons. Yet, here on the new light side GOTB, the ship platoons are riddled with them. What gives? And they actually said that no, because this is a new territory battle, they've actually now got the different, you know, codes and things like that of the different characters of what you need, and that's what they've done. Fair enough. Okay, I can live with that. So that now means that they're locked in place for all you territory battle fans. You know, one of the other ones that I read here too, Heinzie, is that if you remember on the Escape podcast, I think it was episode 15, we had CG Carry On, and she mentioned that they were actually thinking about doing the ships. The vehicles, bringing vehicles into the game. Now, there was a question here which is a dead giveaway. Finally, they've answered it. While ships have gotten more capital ships lately to shake up the meta and develop some excitement, ships will undoubtedly fall into another lull. What sort of features and changes are you bringing to make this an exciting game mode? CG Sven answered, this ties into some of my other answers, but we're working on new game modes that would make all unit types exciting. Bam! We finally got the admission. that, to me, that's saying vehicles are coming.
Yep.
So, so for me, there was a lot in here. Outside, you read the coffee question, that's neither here nor there, and the other one about the, the Chewbacca's got his thing on the wrong side. Who cares about that? There was other stuff in here, and there was some good stuff in this Q&A, and they were actually finally answering some of those questions, or not answering them, but still, giving us something, saying that they at least have seen it and they're hearing us.
Absolutely. No, it's crazy. We've actually got our last point on the list as well. We've actually got our man Ollie Fighting Drunk who's dropped in to join us. How are you? Welcome, buddy. It's good to have you here, man.
Hey, doing good, thanks.
Good,
How are
good,
you?
man. Quick one, man. We're up to the point at the moment where we're talking about your top 4 Q&A contradictions. Now,
Oh, perfect.
good timing, brother. Now, do you want to reel them off to us, man, one after the other one, and let's give
Yeah.
you your top 4, buddy. We've been talking about this earlier today.
Okay, so the 4 that I noticed was they answered a question about the spaghetti code. They said, "Oh, we've talked about this before," and basically posted the exact same response. And then later on, someone asked about a muddled framework, and they said, "We've got no idea what you're talking about," which kind of goes against the, "Yeah, we know there's a spaghetti code issue. Here's the same response."
Yep.
Back in January, they said they would be looking at adding a new tier for daily challenges when they're done with assault battles. And then on this one, they said no.
There's another one right there. What's the next one, man? What else was there in there that you enjoyed?
The third one was when the Radus came out, they said, "Oh, we wanted to use ships from all eras." That was the explanation for the required units. And then this time they said, "Oh no, we chose them because they are ships that work together well."
And the number one, man, what was the last one on the list, bud, that you picked up?
The best. This is the best one.
This is quality.
So this is all within one sentence. They said the Galactic Legend kits are finalized, but they might change.
Definitely one of my favorites right there. So there you go. Good timing, Ollie. Top 4 Q&A contradictions from the man himself. So let's get to the next point that we want to follow up on, guys, is obviously another announcement today was for the finalizer and obviously Resistance Hero Finn as now farmable. Now, okay, where do we start? Who wants to go first on this one? They've set Resistance Hero Finn on a hard node. Now, how many hard node characters are we going to get? Are they all going to be hard node going forward? I would have preferred to have this on a ship node just to give us that little bit extra to farm. But who wants to have a quick chat about this first and give their thoughts? Because I'm pretty frustrated that this has gone to another hard node myself.
Well,
Right.
I'm gonna jump
Do you
in.
mind if I start off with a positive thing?
Go for it.
Let's try and lighten the mood a bit. So, whilst it's on a hard node, I'm really glad they didn't put it on Cantina. With all the relic farming that needs to be going on right now, I think if they'd put it on Cantina, that would have been such a slap in the face.
And what about being on a ship node? Would you have preferred that, or are you happy with it at hard node then?
I'd have preferred ship node, but let's face it, hard node, second best option.
Fair
out
enough.
of 3.
Scotty, you were next man. Your thoughts?
Look, I mean, I said this when they first came out with Hux and also the Sith Trooper. 6C Dark Side Hard is your Sith Trooper, and then for your Hux, you've got 6A Hard Dark Side, and that's for Hux. Now, for Finn, we finally got a light side character to try and help us out with doing our dailies that we have to do each day. And he's moved over to the light side, which is fine, but he's on 8C hard. Now, if you go to 8C hard, that is ridiculous. That is like near the very end, the upper echelon
Of energy needed.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same with Hux and the Sith Trooper as well. So in terms of the drop rates on those upper echelon hard node things, like they've actually released it a long time ago, if you remember. Like they actually said that the earlier nodes on the hard nodes are a lot easier to get the shards. The later nodes are harder. So, you know, we're going to be sitting here trying to get, you know, a 7-star Finn, a 7-star Hux, and a 7-star.
Oh, and he's cut out. He's cut out. We'll come back to you, Scotty. We'll come back to you.
Leaving us hanging.
He's leaving us hanging. We'll come back to you, buddy. I want to quick chat to our man Efrit. I want to get his thoughts on Resistance Hero Finn on the hard node, bud. What are your thoughts about it all?
Okay, look. How many more hard node characters do we need? I'm already farming for ships on the hard nodes. All right. I mean, I'm with Ollie on this one. At least it isn't a Cantina node, but here's an even better one. Why is it not in the what is it called? The Galactic War Shard store or the Arena store or the Get store? Why? Why not? Like,
you wouldn't want it in the
what
Get
am I
store.
doing with my Galactic War Shards now?
There's enough stuff in the Get store as it is, but I wouldn't worry about that one. You're right. I mean, you know, there's the Cantina store.
Sorry, not the Get store, the Guild store. Sorry, mixed it up.
I know what you mean.
But
Can I answer the question?
Yeah, go.
I should say a long time ago that they're not going to be releasing any more characters into the Squad Arena store, nor the Fleet Arena store, or any of those stores. They're not going to be doing it.
Gotcha. So basically, it's just going to be hard node, Cantina, ships, or bust.
Yeah, cutting off players. That's the problem.
Or get.
Sorry, Scotty.
Or get one currency.
Or get one currency. Oh, please no. There's enough Get stuff to farm. It's killing me.
Well, no, but before you say any more, I mean, they haven't ruled out any more epic confrontations, which means more 5-star unlocks.
Oh,
that was the bit that really annoyed me. They're not done with epic confrontations.
Don't get me started on 5-star unlocks, Scotty. I'll start going berserk. You know that, mate. I'm not a fan of that at all. It stinks. You got to put a ridiculous amount of work into unlocking these guys, and at 5-star, it sucks. You can't use it. It's just wrong. Anyway, that's a whole different topic. We won't talk about that, but I want to get to Nev quickly, buddy. Finalizer's coming out, bud. Now, if there's a first order, someone who loves his first order, you're my man. Now, your thoughts on the finalizer kit today, buddy? What do you think about that one? You like it?
I actually do like it. It's the only thing that I don't is, well, we don't have a tank. So, but everything about the kit looks solid. So they're going to hit hard, hit fast, and there's a lot of turn meter reductions. So, and the turn 1 bloody ultimate ability is awesome as well.
Yeah. I mean, it should, you know, as it's been mentioned in a few videos up until now, it should rip, oh god, I lost it for a second. Home one, a new one. Any of those sorts of backbar fleets, certainly.
Silencer, like, he already puts out so much damage. Giving him crit damage stacking on top of that is, you know, insane. It
is absolutely. It's crazy. So I like it. It's a good looking ship. I think that we need it. We'll certainly probably get more ships down the track. We need a couple of tanks. I think they even mentioned that in the Q&A as well, J-Locks, that there's a hint to obviously more tank ships, as far as obviously Sith, as we talked about not long ago, but also we need a resistance tank, and obviously we're probably going to need a first order tank as well, J-Locks.
Yep. I mean, as you just alluded to, it got edited out, but right at the start of the Q&A, they did mention a new raid that would include ship elements. So yes, I would say there's highly likely they're going to increase the number of capital ships available, and hopefully that should increase the variety of teams used, which would be great.
Absolutely.
It's all one or the other at the moment.
No, spot on. No, I completely agree with that. So, that gives us an idea on obviously what we're talking about. I just want to get a last word from everyone. Efrit, any last thoughts in regard to anything at all that we've talked about, the Galactic Legends or obviously the Q&A? What are your thoughts on anything, mate?
Relic everything, guys. In preparation for every Galactic Legend. Relic everything.
and Ollie, your thoughts, man, after everything today? Anything you want to add before we wind this up, buddy?
I've just got to say, anything they've said, trust that they could go back on it.
Subject to change.
Exactly.
Your thoughts, Scotty? Anything you want to add at the end here, buddy, before we wind this up?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I mean, there was some pretty big stuff that we kind of missed, that we're kind of skimming over, that I actually found in the Q&A, and that is that we're going to be stuck with 3 and 4 dot mods. They're not working on letting us slice them. They're not done with epic confrontations, as I mentioned. The fleet mastery events won't go into the journey guide. There's no plans to bring them into anywhere else apart from monthly events. There's going to be also a never-ending galactic war, which is being discussed, which I can't wait to see. That'll be awesome. The art team wants to bring in Jedi Fallen Order characters, but other characters need to come first. And after the Clone Wars episode for Season 7, I can confirm that it does not appear at this stage as though the Bad Batch or a change to Echo's number is about to happen anytime soon.
Not happy about the Bad Batch, man. I've got an idea on a kit reveal I'm going to do in a video down the track that would be awesome for the Bad Batch, so we'll come back to that another time. But yeah, not happy about that. It's just nuts. My man J-Locks, any parting words to everyone, man, before we wind this up?
Well, where's the love for the Tuscans?
Where's the love for the Tuscans? It's all about Jawas,
they
mate, not about Tuscans.
They mentioned Jawas, but they didn't mention Tuscans. You only have 3 tunes.
Bring more Tuscans.
At least Jawas have a place. At least Jawas can take down... Geared Jawas can take down the Geos, but...
Yeah, but your Tuscans go all right just with the 3, buddy. I've seen them in action, and they hold really well.
They do use other tunes, though, that would be quite useful elsewhere. So
True. That's a whole different video, that one. We'll come back to that another time. My boy Lego, anything you want to add, buddy, before we wind this up in a mini?
Just well harder, everyone.
It's
all you got to do.
It's a common tip, man. It really is, and it's becoming more and more required, I tell you. And of course, we're going to finish off with our man Nev. Anything you want to add at the end here, Nev, before we say goodbye, buddy?
Bad Batch. Well, they really didn't touch bases on it at all, really. And with the episode 2 now out, it's they really need to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree more. So that's a good way to end. But I've got an idea for a kit down the track. We'll do a video on that one. That's great. But I want to thank all my guests for joining us, guys. I love you all. Love all your work. You know that. Thank you so much for dropping in and making this video even more awesome than just having to put up with me all the time. Guys, thank you for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. Again, if you're brand new, please smash that red button. It's super important for us. We just want to keep growing this channel and making it even more and more awesome. So we'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care. We'll be doing some live streaming a fair bit as well. We've got, of course, we've got the old Harpoons and Beer. We've got the GAC coming up again next week. So pretty psyched about that, with a heap more fun coming your way. So stay tuned. Take care. We'll see you very soon.